right. I need to X out of this and get a new live video for us. All right. I think we're live. We are live. Okay. Hello and welcome to episode 392 of the Casual Hour. Through the power of the internet and the power of technology, we have addressed the audio issue. Chase, how the hell are you?
I'm great.
Good.
I'm great.
You look great.
I'm not sure about that, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Sorry for the little technical hiccup there. This is the first live stream from the new studio. And if you're a fan of the show and you've been wondering where we're at and you didn't see any of our notifications, I moved, finally. It took me the better part of a year to get to where we're at. But we got a new spot. We've been off work. We've been setting things up. And it's great. It is. I don't recommend moving, but I recommend moving if that tracks. So all those things being said, what have I missed, Chase? What's the biggest things that's happened on the internet since I've been gone?
There's no longer a rules committee for Magic the Gathering Commander. Wizards of the Coast now took it over. People have opinions about it.
Well, they don't have the best track record with other properties like Dungeons and Dragons, so.
Well, sure, but we're not getting into it. It's fine. It's probably not a great thing for Commander overall, but
yeah,
it'll probably be okay.
I saw Sony has a PlayStation Pro that's very expensive. I saw a lot of people bought said PlayStation Pro and made it even more expensive.
That's also true.
I know that we're not going to talk about. So we're not going to talk about any new stuff we've been playing. We're going to just focus on October. It's a pretty big month. I wanted to have more of a.
There was a state of play.
There was a state of play. What was your favorite thing shown at the state of play?
That would require me to remember most of the things at the state of play. I just remember being I texted you that I was excited for Dynasty Warriors Origins.
Yes.
I don't know why I did that. You don't give a fuck. But
I like Hyrule Warriors.
That's true. Are you ready to jump into Liu Bei and Cao Cao?
I don't know if I would. I need to finish Black Myth before I go any further into that area.
Sure. Yeah. It's just like that.
So you're a monkey in this.
You've already tried one Chinese history video game. Why not try another?
Yes, have some. I have played a lot of stuff, and there's a few games that we're going to cover on our October preview tonight that I'll be able to shed a little bit more insight to, because I did play a little bit of those in preparation for tonight's episode. But next week when we get back together, we'll definitely dive into all the fun things that I've been playing. And I want to hear.
Let me ask you one question.
Yeah, of course.
Did you finish Astrobot?
No.
Neither did I.
I'm still playing it. I am almost to the 4th planet, and I'm doing like a platinum run on this game. So I'm getting every little thing I can in each area, 100%ing it, and then moving to the next one.
Yeah. So I'm in a similar boat. I think I just started the 3rd world, but I also, as much as I like that game, I've been not playing a lot of video games. Even over our break, I was doing other things, but video games were played.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff that I've played. I'm very excited about. I'm really looking forward to chatting more with you about it. I know that you and I are both playing a lot of Zelda, and I'm looking forward to talking about that with you. I think I'm more excited to start building my Lego Zelda set. And
you got the Deku Tree?
I got the Deku Tree, and we've got a backlog of Legos to build. But I've got that, and then just yesterday or the day before, we got the Mario and Yoshi set delivered. So Mario and Yoshi's going to go right over there, and then I'm moving the Tall Neck and Pac-Man over to this wall, and then putting the tree amongst all the other Zelda stuff there.
Sure, so you kind of got like a Mario side and a Zelda side.
Yeah, I wanted to do like the game,
2 sides of Bobby Peas.
Well, the game that got me, like what got me into video games, which would be Mario, and then like what's been my favorite, and then everything in between is usually like something I put on my game of the year list in some way,
Yeah.
shape, or form. So I got this really cool sign though as a housewarming
That is a
gift for
pretty
me.
cool sign.
Mounting that sign was interesting.
Yeah.
Here's why. It's very, very well made. And I was trying to think like, what can I do with this? Like, I don't want to just like try and hammer into it. So I found these risers. So that's actually about 3/4 of an inch off the wall.
Okay.
And I'm going to be putting a battery operated LED behind it
Ooh, that's a cool idea.
to try and give it a little bit of that glow that you might see on some of our branding that we use. But
Yeah.
I wanted to have that front and center because I think it's awesome. But I also just think that this is my space
Perfect for the studio. Yeah.
perfect studio.
I remember asking the sign guy as I was getting that made for you and being like, how would we go about mounting that on a wall? Like, do you put like the saw tooth behind it or something? And he goes, nah, it's not really what you do with this kind of a sign. I'm like, oh, okay. But he didn't really give me an answer. I'm like, I don't know. Just
I'll show you when you come over here to see what worked out really well is the risers are a black metal. And so any area that's black on that, I've hidden the riser in.
sure. Yeah.
And so I just kind of like pilot hold a few spots to make sure that like, okay, this is not going to like get into the blue and look weird. And there's 4 holding it up. So the way those risers work, you drill a hole through the product, and then the back part of the riser has a hole that you put against the wall and you drill a screw into and holds that. Then you line it up. And I just put like painter's tape around like the points of the sign. And anyway, that's some really inside baseball for this.
I like it. I can't wait to see it in person.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to have you over. But I'm more excited to talk to you tonight and catch up on October games, because October has been a month that I opened up the document that you put together. You always do such a great job with that. But I've heard for a while October was going to be a big month. And it looks like it's going to have a lot in it. I don't know where we'll land in October. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on what you take away from October.
I think there are a couple games that I feel are really special, and there's a handful of other games underneath that tier of these could be just really good games.
Yeah.
I'm just not ready to throw my like full support behind them, but
I think that's fair.
I'm optimistic about a lot of stuff in October.
So the way our monthly previews work, usually we would tell you about a game that we've been playing, but we're going to skip that as we mentioned and get to it next week. We're going to check in on how we did in September. Did we get it right? Usually we don't. We'll talk to you about some of the free games, aka PlayStation Plus, Game Pass, and then we're going to give you a rundown of not every game coming out in October, but ones that we feel might represent what we're into, and then we'll do our picks and go from there.
Yeah. We also normally on these monthly previews we spin a wheel for me.
Yeah.
But we're not going to do that this month. Part of it is, hey, we were on a break and I just didn't get around to playing Heat Signature. I still am extremely excited to play Heat Signature. I'm gonna still say that's my like game of October that I need to play. I've also been out of town a lot on the weekends where I thought I'd be playing video games and just haven't been because I haven't been home. So
I know we don't need to get into it on air, but like, are you and everybody doing okay? Like, is everything cool back home?
Oh yeah. It's just visiting folks. I mean, there was a funeral for a family friend. But yeah. Everything's good. Just good. I wish I was home more so I could play more video games.
It would be poor taste on our part not to just say like, hey, we hope everybody who's been impacted by the hurricanes are doing well.
Sure.
That's been a really shitty thing to watch unfold. And my brother lived in Raleigh, and Sarah and I vacationed quite a bit down that way and spent a lot of time in Asheville, and super, super sad to see all that. So our thoughts are out there with you. Best of luck. And I hope that that's a speedy recovery. Chase, let's how was September? September was a huge month, I feel.
Yeah, I mean there were some really exciting games from September, and yeah, let's go through there. Let's start with my list because mine is shorter than yours, so maybe
Okay.
we can get through it a little faster. We talked a little bit about Zelda up at the top. We're going to talk more about that next week, but I had on my list, and so did you. Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, and that just came out what, a week ago, less than a week ago.
Yeah,
Uh, so
26th.
yeah, so it's still pretty fresh. We're still both really early into it.
But I think we
I
can
think that
say
I think that game might be good. I think that game
I
might
think
be
I think that game is
really
very,
good.
very, very good.
So
It's
preview of
been
what we'll talk about next week. But yeah,
yes,
Zelda seems good. I
Zelda
also had
still
UFO
good.
50. I'm really sad to say that I have not played any UFO 50.
Huh? I
I've
have.
waited. Huh?
I have.
Well, I'm not surprised you have. You
I
play
was.
games on your personal computer.
I thought you were gonna be. All right.
Yeah, I want to. But also I've been waiting a billion years to play this game. I might as well wait a billion and a half
It's on the
years for it
Switch,
to.
right?
It is not. It is only on PC. That's why I'm waiting.
Oh, I don't think I knew
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's only on PC for now. There's no official date on when it's coming, but
That's
it's
not
absolutely
very
getting ported to
normal
everything.
for him, right?
I mean, Spelunky I was going to say Spelunky wasn't originally on the Switch, but that's
Yeah.
because it wasn't that generation of consoles yet. I mean, there will absolutely be ports of this game,
Yeah.
and even when I played it at PAX West, what, like 7, 8 years ago at this point, like I was playing it on a controller. Like it was,
For
I think it
sure.
was even being shown on Xboxes, maybe,
I'm playing
maybe it
it
was
with
still
I've
PCs.
played it with a controller. That's how I played
Yeah, I mean the game is certainly made for you to be able to play it
it.
with anything.
100%.
So I have to imagine there will be console versions of this thing relatively soon. Maybe by the end of the year. I don't know. I haven't heard anything, but again, I just feel like it's. I
Wild.
would not be surprised if that showed up on a Switch soon, which
Yeah.
makes me think like I could wait a few more months. It has been exciting hearing people talk about that game, and it sounds like
Yeah.
it's a really
Yeah,
good
man.
one,
I was hoping to
or
talk to you about it.
50 really good ones. But
Yes.
yes, hopefully I'll get my hands on it soon, and
We
I'm
should.
looking forward to next week where maybe I'll hear some from you. And then we both had this on our list as well, Astrobot, which we just talked about earlier, and we've talked about a lot. Astrobot is good.
It's
It's a good video
fantastic.
game.
It is.
So on your list, you had a couple other ones. You had the Plucky Squire, which man, what an art style!
Dude,
Did you end up picking that up?
I did. And it is breezy. It's very it's a wonderful game, I think, for a parent to play with their kid.
Yeah.
But hot damn, that is some of the most inventive art style I've seen in a game in a while. It's just gorgeous to look at in the way that like Cuphead was.
Yeah.
Like I'm just so taken by how that game looks. It's not challenging at all. It's very
Right. I've heard
very,
people be a little down on the game part of the game
yeah,
as like it's just kind of a simple thing, but
yeah,
also just look at it. Like,
yeah.
shut up and just look at it. What do you mean?
That's literally my 2 cents on it. It's just like, just look at this thing. But it's cool, man. It's very charming.
Yeah. You had Core Keeper. I don't remember what Core Keeper is.
I played this one in early access a long time ago. This is it's kind of like a Spelunky, not you are a spelunking in a cave, but not Spelunky. It is a crafting game, pixel
I see.
co-op.
Yes, I remember now.
It's really cool. It's neat. But yeah, not probably your jam.
You had Satisfactory. Hasn't that game been out forever?
That just hit 1.0.
Oh, right. Yes, now I remember.
This is an official release, so I can be official. I'm officially sick.
Wow. I've known that forever.
It's fantastic, dude. They changed up some stuff on that. They changed locations of, there's like 4 or 5 areas you can start in, and there was meta areas to start when it was in early access, and they've changed
this
up.
was the trailer where it's like the guy trying to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
It's so good. I will tell you right now, because I've talked a lot about this game. It is the best one of those, in my opinion.
All right.
Yeah.
And then you had Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2, which we did some streaming for. Like that was the last stream we did before we took a break, right?
Yeah. I really like that game. I don't love playing it by myself, and
Sure.
I'm
Like, it's
fine.
built to play with friends.
And that's a hard thing to do when you get older, man.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to do. So those, yeah, but I've played all those games, and I got to tell you, September, with a move included, I found time to play them, and I wish I would have had more for all those, but I got some catching up to do still.
Agreed. Yeah, same for me. I didn't even move, and there's still a lot for me to catch up on.
Well, life finds a way, and sometimes that way is not always the right way, but it finds a way.
Speaking of finding a way, how about we find a way to play some free video games, Bobby? How does that sound?
You know, there's nothing I love more than a video game except for a free one, Chase.
It's a great point.
Also, I don't think that we've ever really addressed this. I when I say I play Game Pass for free, for the last several years, anytime I have a birthday or Christmas or a celebration, I ask for Game Pass gift cards.
Sure.
Because I buy games as they come out now. I don't have to wait for a holiday to get those. And Game Pass is something that, like, I know I'm going to use. It's easy. And that is how I play for my, like, yeah, cool. Give me 3 months here. Give me 3 months there.
I let my Game Pass subscription lapse. I would have no issue picking it back up if there was something I really wanted to play.
If I wasn't getting it for free, I might do the same, because I stopped paying for PlayStation Plus as well. But yeah.
Well, let's talk about them both. If you have PlayStation Plus, the essential, the base version of PlayStation Plus, you are getting 3 new video games for free this month. One of them is WWE 2K24, which I don't remember if people were saying it was good or bad. I'm not sure.
I heard the wrestling was good this year.
Okay. I mean, I think they've been slowly improving on it, but
the timing is interesting with the documentary that just came out.
I don't know if those were done in tandem with each other, but
have you watched that?
I've not. I also let my Netflix subscription lapse, but a friend was talking to me about it today, so I might need to go watch that Vince McMahon documentary. Hearing that it's like the same director as the Tiger King is telling me, like, okay, maybe I should see this. Maybe this is dumb and stupid enough, and new and different enough. Like WWE does like all their own documentary stuff that is incredibly well done. But this is like a separate production from that. So maybe seeing somebody else's perspective would be kind of cool. It is October, Bobby, so we need to get a little spooky in here. We have 2 relatively spooky games that are also on PlayStation Plus Essential. One of them is Dead Space. This is the remaster of Dead Space 1.
That was not so remaster, good.
The remake of
incredibly well done.
I hear it's good. I'm a baby. I don't know if I'll be playing. I owned the original Dead Space 1 on Xbox 360, and I didn't play it very, very far into it. I think I got a used copy much later. So it's
if you're, it's a lot. I mean, it's definitely a nerve game,
and there's like a lot of jump scare stuff. It's a lot of things jumping out of vents and things. I remember back when I played a demo and then picked up a used copy of it, that I thought the idea of the cutter tool was a really neat thing.
It's so good, dude. It's so good.
Like the idea of, and this is treading very, very well worn ground, but the idea of like, in zombie style games, you always aim for the head. And in this game, it's like, well, the head's not always the thing you aim for. You aim for the legs or something to cut out from underneath them, or you aim for the arms so they can't attack you. Like the weak points are not always just the head. And I found that to be interesting from like a combat perspective.
It's really
also
neat.
It's walking down a bunch of dark corridors as things jump out at you, and I'm like, that doesn't sound like a good time for me.
Yep.
Something else that wasn't a very good time for me is Doki Doki Literature Club.
I've never played it, but I've certainly heard my fair share of this not being great.
I mean, here's the thing. I think it is good as a video game. I think it's solid. There's all sorts of visual novels out there that come from Japan and are very good and solid. If you wanted, like, this one plays on the ideas of visual novels and does it from it's certainly from a Westerner, but it's with the aesthetics and ideas of Japanese visual novels. Um, but it also gets fucked up.
Yeah.
Purposefully gets fucked up, and I'll tell you, it's probably not that scary. Like it's not really a scary game. It is like an unnerving game, and
It's dark though, right? Like it's the subject matter is a lot.
yes. And really my issue, the reason that I could not finish this game is that when I first started it up, I was playing it in the dark in bed.
You played this when you were on the show, right? We talked about it, right?
We did.
Okay.
It was a very affecting video game at the time that it didn't make me feel great, and I didn't play any more of it once. But I think if I just played that in the day, like on a big computer like the one I'm on right now, it'd be fine. But when I was playing on a laptop in bed in the pitch black dark, I'm like, maybe I don't need to play any more of this.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's got not to go too spoilery into it, but it's got like some Inscription style stuff where
that's what I think I remember.
Yeah, like you're going outside of the game to do stuff in the game, kind of stuff. It's kind of interesting, and hey, it's free. I wonder how that works on a console. Like if you're playing that on a PlayStation 5, you're not really like going to your desktop.
Yeah, you can't go and fuck with stuff.
You're not changing your bin files or whatever.
There might be another time tonight that we ask that. Like, I wonder how this is going to work on a console.
Interesting. Well, we'll have that to look forward to. Bobby, I'm going to throw it over to you to talk a little bit about what's coming to Game Pass this month.
It's baseball, Chase. MLB The Show 24 coming to console.
I do love baseball.
Is that what that
was just on PlayStation Plus last month.
Oh, you probably downloaded it there then.
I downloaded it there, yeah.
Open Roads, which I think has been on here before, is back on October 2nd. Sifu, which I've been wanting to play that one. I might check that out finally.
Seems cool. I don't think either of us would like Sifu, but I like the idea of Sifu.
The reason I say that is I'm pretty sure they actually put in like an easy mode in on that game.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna see if that's the thing. I might just fire it up and be like, oh, okay, cool. Mad Streets, which I don't know much about, and then Inscription, which, funny enough, we talked about that.
How does that work on a console?
How does that work on a console? We'll say that 3 times here tonight. I promise you. And then lastly, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which we'll talk about here in a moment.
How does that work on a console?
Not very well, according to
not
the
enough
internet.
hard drive space, that's for sure.
Jesus Christ. Go buy $700 PS4 Pro just to play that game.
Yeah.
All right, let me flip it over here to where people can see these trailers. If you are listening to our show right now, this is a perfect opportunity to tell you we record this over the trailers. So if you wanted to ever watch it with us live, we record every Wednesday at 9. That's going to change actually in a few weeks. But for the most part, Wednesdays at 9, or you can go and watch it on YouTube or Twitch. But let me pull this up here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just listening now, know that you're only listening to half the show.
You're only getting
catching the full. Yeah, you can get the full experience by watching us live on Twitch. Or watch the archive on Twitch.
What are you doing with yourself? You should be watching this beautiful stream that we've put together for all of you out there in the internet.
Yeah, it's not like you have something else you're doing on your Wednesday, or if you're watching it now on Thursday nights. Like, come on.
We are some of the funnest people to hang out with, and even funnier to look at. So,
well, that's certainly true.
Win-win.
Our annoying voices don't do our annoying faces justice.
Our faces are dumb. Our videos are dumber. Chase, how is this game going to work on a console?
That's a really great question. Our first game is coming out October 3rd. Today, October 3rd. It's out today. Cryptmaster, which is out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. So this has already been on PCs for a bit.
We streamed this.
We did. Did we stream a demo or did we stream like the game?
We streamed the game on a Monday.
Okay.
It was rad. This game's fucking awesome.
It's really cool, but like it's a game about typing. Like you're typing to it's kind of like Typing of the Dead style, where you are typing to do attacks and things like that. It is all based on typing. So yeah, how the fuck does that work on a console? I mean,
dude, if they make you like pull up the on-screen keyboard and like go because this
No
like,
way. No
dude,
way they would do that.
I hope not, because I had to have you telling me what to type.
I mean, I guess with like a PlayStation controller, like the DualSense, you could do the same way you would do like the Apple, like the texting where you're like just swiping from letter to letter. Like you could use that same kind of touch pad.
I know in the 360 they had this. It was like the keyboard that goes in between the like.
I love that little keyboard. It sucked so much, but I loved it.
It was great.
Yeah.
All right, really quick. This is 1 minute, I promise. There was a good friend of mine that I played with. He started dating a girl that they exclusively chatted through MSN Messenger.
Wow.
And we would be like in between deaths on Call of Duty back in the day. He would be hammering away on that keyboard on his Xbox, chatting with her. I was like, there is a better way to do this. I promise you, this is not the way to do it. So
you guys need phones. Like, goddamn.
He also had a Zune. He was committed.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you also brought up to me just in a text message, hey, we need to talk about the Dreamcast at some point,
dude.
And like even the Dreamcast, thinking about Typing of the Dead, they had like a separate keyboard that you would use just for that fucking video game. And then like, didn't it come to like GameCube, and there was also like a GameCube controller that had the GameCube controllers on either side, and it was just a big fucking keyboard in the middle.
It was a massive like, honestly, if I could find that and figure out how to make that like my default keyboard, you know what, I got a few more days before I'm back to work. I'm gonna do that. I'm
sure the ergonomics of that are awful.
What a thing.
GameCube keyboard controller.
That's a deep dive in itself, my friend.
Let's see, eBay. How much we talking here? How much do you think this thing would cost?
$50.
No, my friend.
250.
259 in US money, but this one is specifically from Canada, where it costs 350 Canadian dollars.
Jeez.
Plus $25 of shipping.
My brain can't. I really struggle with retro pricing. I know it's up there. I suck at connecting the dots there on what it could be.
I mean, these are also relatively rare. Like my holy grail thing that I want, that I will never get because there's not even listings for it, there is like one. It's like a fold out television screen that would go in a car. Mm-hmm. And I think it was only for specific cars as well, but it had a GBA slot.
Oh, damn. Okay.
And so the idea is that like you could have, it was the biggest screen you could play GBA games on.
That's cool.
Until like the GameCube adapter that had that. And I'm like, man, wouldn't that be cool? Like, I think it was made for like a rental car company, I believe, or it was like, hey, you can play your Game Boy Advance games in our cars because we have this fucking device. But it's just completely lost to time these days. But for me, it was like, I just want to play Golden Sun on a big screen. How can I do that? And for a long time, that was the best way to do that. I mean, not the best way because you couldn't find one, but it was the biggest screen you had available to you at the time.
That's
incredible shit.
Crazy.
Anyway, yes, Cryptmaster. It was a fun time when we streamed it. I would certainly watch you play a little bit more of it. That was I did enjoy calling out the words as
that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
How the fuck does that work?
I know. I will probably try and find a video of that after this to see.
Yeah,
I'm very curious.
Let's move on. Also on the third, Kill Night, and that's Night KNIGT. Jesus Christ. Obviously, I would not do very well in Cryptmaster. Spellings all over the fucking place.
Chase, this game fucks.
Do what?
This game fucks.
It does seem like it fucks. It's coming to Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and PC. Everything, as they say. This is insane. Like it's a super fast twin stick shooter. It's like a little bit Hades, where it's a roguelike kind of game, but also it's like somebody just threw devil daggers into it and said, what if the game was just super fucking fast and just like a shmup style, put as much garbage on the screen as possible. It looks incredible.
There's so much to do. I was very overwhelmed. I'll talk more about it next week, but it brings some of the 2016 Doom into it as well, and like
Sure.
how you can get health and what like executions look like and shit.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing it, like glory kill kind of stuff.
Well, if you kill a certain way, you get health. If you kill another way, you get heavy ammo. If you kill a certain way, you get refills on that.
Oh, that is extremely Doom then. Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely kind of like that roulette of what's going on, but it looks so good. It looks so good. The opening of like your character just getting ready to go into this area, chef's kiss. It was so good.
All right, man, I'm excited that you're excited. That's awesome.
I don't know how much I'll play. It's hard as fuck, but
well, I believe that.
yeah. We'll see how it goes though.
Cool. Also on the 3rd, MechWarrior 5 Clans is coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. So MechWarrior, for those who don't know, MechWarrior takes place in the BattleTech universe, and these are BattleTech's like a. I mean, there are video games of it too, but it's like a model kit.
Yeah,
it's like a Warhammer kind of game, right? Tabletop stuff. But they've also made a lot of MechWarrior games. Like there's been MechWarrior games going back to, I don't know, like original Xbox.
Old, yeah, like long time.
At least 360, but I think all the way back to original Xbox. And these are action games, and it's big mechs with action stuff. These are not my favorite mechs though. I don't particularly like these mechs. They're not the kind of mechs that I'm into. Also, I think I would probably just be, if I was going to play one of these, I'd probably just play the BattleTech game that came out a few years ago and was really well loved.
This looks gorgeous. It looks the graphics look really nice on it.
It does. My other bugaboo I found out about it. I hate the naming for all this shit. There was already a MechWarrior 5 that came out in 2019.
Yes, I distinctively remember it. It was on Game Pass, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, a MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries.
Yeah.
So it feels a little weird to me that...
Is this an expansion or is it standalone?
It's standalone, which is... Like, what the hell are you doing?
That's strange.
There were also 2 MechWarrior 4s. Like, why would you do this? I mean, you can name your video game anything you want.
Re-release games like that.
You can name your fucking video game whatever you want. It doesn't matter. And why'd you do that? Why'd you do that?
This is fucking weird. I don't like this.
It's very funny. Real Final Fantasy X-2 energy. Good stuff. All right, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about another game that's coming out today on the 3rd. Our final game that we're going to talk about for today, and that's Parcel Core, which is coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. So we talked about this last month, I believe, and I believe this also got delayed. And this trailer that we're seeing here is like referencing that there's been a delay in the shipping because it's a game about shipping. It still looks really cool. I like this idea of like getting crazy taxi style stuff, but also some.
I might pick this one up.
Yeah, like some jet set radio in there too. Like you're on bikes, you're not on rollerblades, but it's still that kind of parkouring through an area to do crazy taxi style deliveries, and that's
the demo
rad.
Was super strong. It was a very strong demo.
Yeah. It's man, I might wait to pick it up on a sale, but like this game looks really cool.
I think it's on everything you said, right?
This not on Switch, but
PS5.
Yeah, it's on current gen consoles, not
cool.
Not PS4 or Xbox One, but on the new ones. All right, on the 4th, Until Dawn is coming to PC and PS5. Well-known game, well-loved game, good spooky Halloween style game.
Yeah, good timing for it.
And now it's getting ports to even more stuff. Like when it says PC, like, is this game first time coming onto PC? It feels like it should have been on PC forever ago.
Huh?
But I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know. Until Dawn, go play it. It's It's also a little spooky, but I watched other people play it all the way through, and I had a good time.
Yeah.
On the 7th, Disney Pixel RPG.
Times,
what?
Speaking of good times, Oop.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Disney Pixel RPG is coming to mobile, iOS and Android. Uh, man.
They're advertising the shit out of this, by the way.
Oh, I believe that. Okay, so here's the thing. It's not Kingdom Hearts, but it's let's throw a bunch of Disney franchises together into an RPG. Again, not Kingdom Hearts. You're not going to find. Well, I was going to say you're not going to find like people with belt buckles all over their clothes, but you can like customize your own character. So I think you could probably make your own belted looking person. But we are not throwing Final Fantasy into our Disney. This is strictly Disney stuff. But it does seem like you get a ton of Disney characters, both villains and heroes that you can play with in your party. And it's not really a turn-based game. I believe it is more like a clickery kind of.
Is it like an auto battler?
Yeah, I believe so. But even worse, this is a gacha game. This is 100% a gacha game.
No.
They are gonna milk some fucking money out of this. I'll tell you. I'll tell you what. And I think it's kind of a bummer because I think the art is really cool. I like these pixel versions of all these Disney characters.
I think I'll check it out just to see. It's free, right?
Of course, the first taste is always free.
I had like mostly out of like morbid curiosity rather than like genuine interest, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I still have a gacha game that I play, and I don't want to be playing it, but I do anyway, so I definitely don't need to add more. But good luck, Bobby.
We'll see.
Glad you didn't just buy a house or anything, or
not like
financially, this could be very ruinous for you.
Yes.
Let's move on to the 8th.
More than my
Diablo 4. Yeah. Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred coming to PC, PS4, and PS5.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, this is the trailer we saw before, right? When it was like them like in a boat, and then the woman like has some kind of vision, and then like her arms get ripped apart, right?
Yes, that is true.
Okay, that is the Vessel of Hatred.
Her mom dies in the main campaign of Diablo 4. I can't remember her name right now, but she's kind of like in it with you, and she's got a pretty bad thing with her, if memory serves. But yeah, she is a hateful person at this point in time.
So you're excited with what's going on here?
They kind of retooled some shit, and me, Johnny, and Zoe were playing a lot of this for a while leading up to it, and it was fantastic, man. It was just they fixed all the issues I had with the launch version, and I'm really excited for this. You get a whole new class in a whole new region, and the class looks to be kind of like a druid type, but it's like spirit something, if I'm not mistaken. And you go into different fighting styles. So like there's a centipede style, which looks really fun. It looks cool. Like I will absolutely do a seasonal character with the new class. And this is probably going to be something that we'll be playing on Fridays for a bit, because Zoe and Johnny's been hitting me up about it already.
I mean, Diablo is too big of a cash cow and too big of a name for Blizzard to let that thing rot. Even though it had a lot of issues coming in, so obviously they wanted to fix it.
Well, that's how it was like they did 3 too. I mean, 3 was hot when it came out.
Right? Yeah, real money auction houses and things like that. People were not happy about Diablo 3 when it first came out. But
when Diablo is good, it's great. So we'll hopefully we'll get more great Diablo here.
That's what I hear. Diablo 2 on the wheel for me to play at some point. We'll see.
There you
someday. Go. On the 8th, Silent Hill 2, the second one, coming to PC and PS5. This is the remake of
this is
of
Blooper Team, right?
Yes, Blooper. 2 B's, yeah. So obviously I'm not excited because this is horror stuff, but this is a very beloved horror game. Blooper Team has kind of been hit and miss with a lot of these horror games. I know there's some the people I listen to when they talk about horror games would be like, I don't really like Blooper Team games.
Right.
But this is such a big name that maybe we'll see. I don't know.
What I know is this: even if the game comes in bad, people will be completely rational about what's going on. That's true. Like nobody's going to get worked up about this in any way. It'll be fine.
If there's one thing I can say about gamers, it's they are logical and reasoned, level-headed.
What do you think Jess is going to say about this?
I don't care.
Me either.
I'll tell you one thing. Do not care. Do not care what a person that I don't care about says about a game I don't care about. Double don't care.
Double don't care.
Let's move on to a game that I might care about. On the 10th, Sky Ocean's Wings for Hire.
Deja vu? Is this? I've seen this with you, right?
I think we saw this as part of like a Nintendo Direct.
No, Next Fest.
Okay.
I don't think we got
play this.
We did. Okay, you asked me to download it. I downloaded it, but we did not play it.
So this is coming to PS5, Switch, Xbox Series X, and PC. This is so again going back to the Dreamcast. I didn't play this game. I didn't own a Dreamcast, but Skies of Arcadia was an incredibly well loved RPG that was about sky pirates. That was about flying in your airship, being piratey, doing cool shit. And it's a game I've wanted to play for a long time. It did get a GameCube port a long time ago, but nobody really cares about that game anymore. It's certainly nobody with the money does, because it's never seen a sequel or another port after the GameCube version. So somebody out there went, hey, sorry, by somebody I mean Octato Studios. They said, why don't we just make our fucking own? And so that's what they did. And it's Sky Ocean's Wings for Hire, and I think it looks really cool.
I don't know why I'm getting Monster Hunter Stories vibes from watching this.
I think the art style is somewhat similar.
Yeah,
like there's some connective tissue there. Yeah.
By the way, you can get both of those games together right now for like $35 on Steam.
The Monster Hunter Stories, yeah. That's a good deal. People should buy those games. They're good. I don't know if this game's going to be good or not. I hope it is. If it gets incredible reviews, I'll absolutely play it. But
it's on the Switch too. I imagine that's where you'd want to play it.
It is on the Switch. But I would also just like to play Skies of Arcadia at some point. So
that was a Dreamcast game, right?
Dreamcast and GameCube. Yep.
Okay. Cool.
So, as cool as I think this one looks, it feels like one I would appreciate a lot more if I'd already played Skies of Arcadia. So I
we
think
should have played that demo. I wonder if there's still a demo out there for it.
Maybe. Don't know. On the 11th, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero comes out to PC,
Dude,
PS5.
I can't keep up. There's
Series X.
So many Dragon Ball games. I cannot keep up with them.
Bobby, ask me anime. What's Dragon Ball about?
Dragon Ball is Journey to the West, where you play as a monkey who is going up against the gods because the gods are laying waste to your homeland and your people, and you're fed up with it. So you get up on your staff and you hop into a cloud and you go and you take them out, and you will deal with the balls of a dragon, 7 of them, hidden throughout the universe.
I'm going to give you partial credit because that is you are at least telling the story of Journey to the West for the most part. Dragon Ball takes that a little different direction, but yes, you're in the Goku. Everybody loves Goku.
Your favorite Goku.
Bobby, have you ever gone Ultra Instinct before?
No, never have, never will.
That's probably smart. Okay, so there were some video games called Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi, and they were these 3D arena fighters that
these are only fighting games, right? Is that like basically all that they make with these games?
No. They make Dragon Ball games of all stripes.
Okay.
But there are a lot of fighting ones, and for a long time there was the Budokai Tenkaichi games, which were these arena fighters. 3D arena fighters, and people loved them. I didn't. I don't really like 3D fighting games much at all, but they were huge, and then they stopped making them like 20 years ago or whatever. 14 years. I have it listed on the notes. 14 years since the last Budokai
these are the guys
Tenkaichi.
from Fortnite. Okay.
Yes, the guys from Fortnite finally got their own video game. Um, this game is huge. There's 180 characters,
Does that
and at
excite
least
you?
half of them are not Goku's. What?
Does that excite you?
I mean, it's cool in the way that wow, you got so many. Like when I think about a Dragon Ball fighting game that I like Dragon Ball Fighters,
Yeah.
that roster is comparatively tiny. Uh, when you look at a game like this, like I don't know what the exact roster is, but it's closer to something like 30 than 180. Like holy shit, 180! You could play with anybody, right? How could
God.
there be more than 180 Dragon Ball characters? And the answer is there's a whole lot more than 180 Dragon Ball characters, especially when there's like 60 different Gokus because you got to get all the different versions of
God.
Goku out there. But still, it's exciting for people who have gone 14 years without another one of these kinds of games, and now they have it. So good for them.
I don't need you for this. I can just go tune into Jude's channel.
You could. Do you think Jude is excited about this?
More than Johnny's wallet.
I don't know if Johnny's son would care about the fighting.
He only cares about the one Dragon Ball game.
Yes, he wants to play his gotcha one with yeah. We tried playing a Dragon Ball card game that he begged his dad to get, and we played exactly one hand, and he went, I don't think it's
because he got fucking stomped and he didn't handle it well.
He might have even won. I was helping him, but I think he might have even. I can't remember. I just know that he did not enjoy the game, and then he left immediately. Okay,
that tracks.
Sorry, bud. Let's move on. Let's move on to the 11th, where we're getting Europa coming to PC and Switch. Yeah, we've been. I feel like we've had our eye on this game. We've talked about it a lot on the show. We did stream a demo of it for an X Fest. Gorgeous game. We've talked about kind of the Studio Ghibli nature of a lot of the stuff that's in here. A lot of the ideas and architecture and things like that have a real Ghibli or Ghibli feel, depending on how you want to say it. Are we thinking we're actually going to buy this? Are we going to buy this?
I am waiting to see how deep it goes, because I have a feeling it's going to be what we're looking at right now will not really evolve, I don't think, too much. And my concern is that you get into that big Breath of the Wild moment where you kind of have the camera move over your shoulder, you see what you're going to do, and then that's it. And I don't want to be reductive of it because I think that's very cool, but I don't know if I need hours of that.
Yeah. So that's kind of my worry too, is that it feels like Journey and Breath of the Wild had a baby.
Yep.
And the problem is, while I like both of those games separately, the idea of you play a game like Journey over the amount of time you play a game like Breath of the Wild, and I go, that's not really for me.
Right.
Because when we played this demo, it was an incredibly wide open, empty area.
Very empty.
Super sparse. Now the idea is like the freedom of movement is so fun, and just flying around is really cool. But again, what are you doing in these spaces? And
Totally.
Hey, we like you said, we just don't know how deep it goes. There is a part in this trailer where it shows like some puzzle solving happening, and I went, okay, I didn't see that in the demo we played. So maybe there is more to this game than we've seen. But while I think it left a really fun first impression, it did worry me about like how much more is there here.
Totally.
So yeah, we'll see how the reviews come out, but I think they've nailed the movement part, which is, honestly, at least 50% of the battle on some 100%. Of these games. Because if your game is fun to move around in, it's probably going to be a good game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Also on the 11th, Metaphor ReFantazio comes to PC, PS4, and PS5, and Xbox Series X. The demo for this game's been out. I've had a couple of different people reach out to me and say, hey, I think this game is good. And I have not downloaded the demo yet, so I can't say for sure, but
Chase.
Yeah?
This game is good.
Okay. I've had 3 people now tell me this.
I didn't think that like with the Shin Megami games that like I would be too far like into anything besides the style and like connection of a Persona, but the style and like what this is, that the fantasy stuff works really well, and it's very well acted. It's very gorgeous to look at. It's cool. It's a cool game.
Yeah, so I was kind of in a similar boat. I've played a number of Personas now, and I like Persona, but anytime I've tried to touch SMT without the Persona labeling on it, outside of Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp FE, which is a different thing, it's it hasn't grabbed me in the same way. So there was a
Yeah.
part of me that was like, is this just gonna be like another one of those? Like I can't even remember what the name of the game was that came out a couple of years ago was, but it was like a lot of like neon green stuff on the main character. And I remember it was like, damn, that looks really cool. And then I don't think it got the best of reviews, and I was like, maybe it's not for me. But
Yeah.
I love the style that's going on
Yeah.
here. It feels different than the Persona style, but I it seems rad. And the thing that's probably got me the most excited, and especially the things I've heard from other people, is just the class system stuff, is like the job system that's going on here is really cool, and is what I would like out of these kinds of RPGs. I love job systems,
I
and it
think it's
seems like
kind of
this
like
one
a
is doing cool stuff with it.
Fire Emblem meets Persona.
Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp FE. Okay, yeah, sounds great.
But yeah,
I love that.
This is really cool.
Yeah, the more I see it, the more I think I'm going to pick this
and
one
honestly, the demo stuff carries over, so it's long. You should do that.
It's like two parts of demo, right? Like there's a part that is the beginning of the game that would just carry over, and then there's also like, oh, here's a bit of a later dungeon, so you can see
how it kind of
what this
scales
game
up.
is like further going on. All right, I've done it now. I have chosen it as one of my picks. It wasn't originally on my picks list. It is now. So
it's picked.
I will probably be playing some Metaphor ReFantasio.
Yeah.
Another game that I will definitely be playing comes out on the 15th, coming to PC, Switch, PS5, and Xbox Series X, and that is Neva.
This one has been high on your
man.
list for a while.
It is. This is the makers of Greece, and I love Greece. It's one of my favorite video game experiences. Love that art style. That it was a game that I was like mashing the screenshot button on my Switch the entire time I played it. I had a whole like screensaver folder of screenshots. It was like this is all I need. This is all I want. This looks gorgeous. And this game looks no less gorgeous.
Yeah, I was going to say you'll probably have something
Greece.
very similar with this, I think.
Yeah, and also like Greece was an amazing.
Sinister.
Go ahead.
This looks a little bit more sinister, I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Like Greece had its dark moments too, but this one, yeah, definitely. And you have like a second character in this. I think that is Neva, this kind of doggish, wolfish character that is along for the ride with you. But the thing I probably like the most about Greece, outside of its gorgeous art style, is it was short.
Yeah.
And you could finish it in one session, and it was just a really great time the whole way through. And if this game is anything like that, which I expect it to be, being made by the same people, I'm fucking excited, man. This is a real game of the year contender for me.
This one is it's on everything, right?
Yes, all the newest consoles, yes,
and Switch. Okay, cool.
Can't wait. Also on the 15th, New World Aeternum. 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 I think it's just Aeternum.
This is their attempt at a Taken King moment, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
coming to PC. It's coming to PC, console. PS5, Xbox Series X.
First time, I think, to console.
I see.
So
I can't remember. Bobby, did you play this?
I really liked what I played. It felt very, very cool. I think it got really fucked up in the end game when it first launched, and it got a lot of criticism for that. There
was like some economy issues I remember people talking about, and kind of just like ran out of content for the end game.
This game though was massive. Like this was huge.
This was one where like the Destiny streamers I was watching at the time, and YouTubers were starting to do like a bunch of guides for New World, thinking, maybe if this Destiny thing doesn't work out, I can switch to New World. And then it didn't, and they all went back to Destiny.
I'm very curious to see if this can bring people back. I think it's also hard when you've got another game that we'll talk about here in a minute coming out that probably will draw the same crowd. If this is getting good buzz, I think that there's a DLC that was $30 that came out after the launch. If you have that, you get this. So
Okay.
I'll see. I might pick that up if I hear good things. But right now, I don't think I'll be going back to it unless this comes out of the gates hitting pretty hard.
Yeah. And that other game that is really going to tear people away from New World, that is Super Mario Party Jamboree.
Yes, that's what I was getting to. Yes, this is it.
Which is coming out on the 17th for Nintendo Switch. It's basically the same kind of video game as New World Eternal.
Had an issue with the end game. People didn't like the economy in it. Yes.
Oh, people very much do not like the economy in Super Mario Party. Hey, it's a Mario Party. There's a new one. It probably has some kind of gimmick to it that I don't care about.
Dan Reichert's happy.
Sure, great, glad for him. Bobby, have you ever played a Mario Party game? I don't think we ever talked about it on the show.
The first one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For the N64.
Enough to get the burn on my palm from the N64.
Yeah, you didn't get the glove, the non-branded glove once people were like hurting themselves, and
Correct.
Nintendo had to give that free ones out. I've played a few Mario parties. I know I played the first and second one. And then my buddy in college would like for New Year's Eve, he would get a bunch of people to come over, and we'd all have these terrible drinks that he called concoction, which was rum, Dr. Pepper, and Sunkist all mixed together. And gotta say, I like all three of those things separately. I did not like them in combination. And then we'd play like a big 50-turn Dan Reichert style Mario Party, and it would lead basically all the way up to midnight, and then we'd all do our midnight thing and and then we were all completely drunk, and then we'd sleep on the floor and wake up the next morning and all feel like shit. It was okay for like 2 years, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I got to do something else. I got to find new plans. But that's probably the most Mario Party I played, and it's fine. Mario Party's okay.
Yeah.
But it is. I'll tell you one thing. It's not a game of skill.
No, but also requires people to play.
That's also true. Yes. You don't want to play Mario Party on your own. That would be sad.
Yes.
Very sad.
Yes.
So okay, let's move on to the 23rd, where we're getting Wilmot Works It Out, coming to Switch, not Switch, PC and Mac. Our first Mac game.
Isn't this the same people that did Flock?
No. I don't believe so. Flock. Okay. Flock was from the Ho Hokum people.
That's right. That's right. My apologies.
Yeah. So Wilmot Works It Out is from the same people who made Wilmot's Warehouse, which was the game where you're kind of like moving these blocks around and new blocks came. Yes, the art's incredible, and the art of Wilmot's Warehouse was also incredible, and I always meant to play it, even though it seems like a game that's mostly just time consuming, like not very difficult exactly, but just a game that you play for a long time and not really make a whole lot of progress on. And that also kind of is what this is.
Is this just like jigsaw puzzles?
Kind of, yeah. It's like a really free-form jigsaw puzzle. They give you, it seems like they give you, instead of just, it feels a little bit like those tile games that everyone hates, where you're like moving little tiles in like the 9-tile set.
The fucking worst.
Yeah, they're terrible. But it feels, so what I'm seeing in the trailer here is like you have multiple of those tiles, and for multiple of those tiles, but also for multiple individual puzzles. So part of the like part of the fun, or at least part of the gameplay here, is to separate out the different pieces of like, okay, what's part of that puzzle versus what part of this puzzle, and shifting those things around and clicking them into place. And it doesn't seem like it's necessarily all that fun, but it looks incredible.
It does look incredible.
I still kind of want to try it.
Yeah, 100%. Like, it looks charming as hell. Maybe if it goes on sale.
I mean, this seems like a podcast game, right? Or like
Totally.
a game where you're like watching TV or something, and you can
Totally.
look down and play it a little bit, but always be, still listening to something else. Uh, but yeah,
100%.
I still mean to go and play Wilmot's Warehouse at some point because that game also seemed good. On the 24th, Romance of the Three Kingdoms 8 remake.
What do you think
Hey,
about
Bobby.
this?
I think I've never played one of these games.
This seems like your shit.
Well, it is about the Three Kingdoms, which is definitely my shit. It's also a strategy game, which is generally my shit. Now, this is more of like a grand strategy game. It's closer to a Civ than it is to like a Fire Emblem,
Okay.
which is a little less my shit. It's coming to PC, Switch, PS4, and PS5. I can't remember when the original Romance of the Three Kingdoms 8 came out or what console it was on or anything like this, but I believe this is the one that people generally say is the best one.
Okay.
And that's why it got the remake here.
Do you care?
Kind of.
I mean, I know that you're into this shit, but I just don't know if you're into it this way.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of Three Kingdoms games that I have yet to play. I haven't played Total War Three Kingdoms. I think we talked about it on the show, or maybe you just brought it up to me. There was like a Zhao Yun game that was on PC specifically that people were liking, so I picked that up and haven't played it either. I do like my Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, you're super into that shit.
But I don't know. Here's what I'm planning to do. I'm gonna watch somebody play this, and see how they deal with it from like a mechanic standpoint, and because that's the stuff that interests me. Is like if this is just like dividing up my wheat to different people, I'm gonna be like, this is probably not for me. But if there's some cool intrigue stuff, it does seem like the things that I've seen in here, it's like it's incredibly branching story where you can break off from history and form alliances with guys that would have never formed an alliance before, and that stuff sounds kind of cool. It's incredibly branching paths stuff. So we'll see, and it's made by the same. It's still Koei Tecmo, so these guys look like the guys that you would see in Dynasty Warriors. It's not like completely different interpretations of these characters, of these historical figures. So we'll see, but I got to see somebody else play it. It's definitely not something I'm going to pick up day one. I want to know that I am going to enjoy this game before I try it. Let's move on to a different kind of romance. Also on the 24th, Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven comes to PC, Switch, PS4, and PS5. Here's a monthly thing where I go, yes, I would like to play one of the Romancing Saga games.
Sure.
Another classic RPG that I've meant to play for a long time and just haven't. But I have a bunch of Saga games. I think I have Romancing Saga 3, because this is like a remake or a remaster of an old video game. So I have other Saga games that I would play before this, but I do think it looks nice. There's that. Let's get on to the 25th. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 coming to PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X.
I didn't pull that trailer up. Oops.
That's fine. I mean, it's Call of Duty. You're shooting guys. People know what Call of Duty looks like. Are you going to play Call of Duty?
If it's on Game Pass, I haven't played a campaign in a long time. I'd be curious to see what a campaign feels like in 2024, but I have. Yeah. It's so weird to not care about Call of Duty, and I haven't for years, and it's just not changing.
Well, it wasn't that long ago. We did the what was the
DMZ, I guess I did care about.
Yeah, DMZ. Yeah, we played some of that. I haven't heard anything about DMZ stuff in this one, or if it adds like, isn't that like its own separate game at this point?
But I don't know if it's getting like, I don't know if people are over that and they're just going back to like trying to get their multiplayer right, because I think that's been the problem, is that they've had so much that's been bad that just focus in on what people love from you and retain what you can right now.
Yeah,
but I'll probably check out the campaign.
I would also be interested in playing a Call of Duty campaign again sometime. I think the last one I played was the Future one, the one that had Jon Snow in it.
Yeah, that's right. That was 2014, 2015, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a while, and it was fine. Like it was, it's no like Titanfall 2 or something, but it was fine. It was
not much is
solid game. I'm just, yeah, I think you and I are the minority here, where we would rather just, play a $30 version that was just a single player
Dude.
game and
It's,
not have the multiplayer attached. Where
you
everybody else is like, just give me the
wipe
multiplayer. I don't care about the.
Call of Duty off the face of the earth, and I would not lose any sleep.
Yeah, it feels bad. Like there was a time where it really mattered to me.
Yeah.
Like that Modern Warfare 2, first Black
100%.
Ops. Like I was deep in, man, and it
Yeah.
just not anymore. It's not my bag.
Same.
What might be in my bag is on the 25th, Sonic X Shadow Generations.
This
I
is
don't
a
know,
remake?
man. No.
No.
But kinda, but no.
Okay.
It's coming to PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. So the deal with Sonic Generations is that it kind of melds old Sonic games into a new package. So
Sure.
the first Sonic Generations kind of had, as you see there, like the original Sonic with like the fully black eyes, and then the new Sonic with his green eyes and his cooler shoes and all that
Sure.
stuff. Like the classic Sonic games versus like the Sonic Adventure where they kind of made the style switch. And so what they did, they would have some 3D levels and some 2D levels, and they would kind of be based on levels of classic Sonic games from the 3D and 2D eras. And so this one is a sequel to that, but now it adds Shadow. And so
Okay.
there are some other things that they're pulling from and some other kind of gameplay. Like, so if you played Sonic Adventure 2 and remember some levels from that, they're pulling some level ideas from that, like the street surfing that you see in this trailer, and the car that's the big truck that's trying to mow you down at the end of that.
Sure.
A lot of grinding and stuff with Shadow. I loved Sonic Adventure 2, one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed Sonic Generations. I think it was a solid one of those kinds of Sonic games that was different from some of the other stuff they were just kind of shitting out at the time. So I'm a little interested. And also this has like I think they announced it with the movie, but there's like a whole set of
Keanu's doing it,
levels
right?
that has Keanu actually
Yeah.
doing the Shadow voice. To which I'm like, that's fucking weird. Maybe I need to see that. Maybe I need to see what the fuck that is.
Yeah.
So
I can see you checking
so
that
who
out.
knows? Who knows? That could be good though. On the 29th, Life is Strange Double Exposure comes to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. So this is the true sequel to the original Life is Strange. This is the same story, or the continuation of the same story. You have Max Caulfield coming back, and she's in college now. So the first Life is Strange was set in high school, and then they did like Life is Strange Before the Storm, which was a prequel. Life is Strange 2 was like a completely separate story featuring different characters, but this is, hey, we're coming back to Max.
Yeah.
And people are excited.
People
really liked that first Life is Strange.
Love that first game, dude.
They really did.
Yeah.
And they've made a bunch of other Life is Strange games, but I think people just really connected with Max.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so it's smart for them to go back and do this. And
yeah,
she's still got her time kind of changey powers and things like that. So, but she's a photographer, which is where the double exposure perk comes in. And I'm sure there's going to be all sorts of gameplay stuff around that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
On the 30th, Pokemon trading card game Pocket comes to mobile, both iOS and Android. Yeah. Yeah. You've never been able to play Pokemon cards on your mobile device before.
This one seems like they're doing some cool stuff.
I think they've got some really smart ideas here. So this is the Pokemon trading card game. If you played that game before, the rules still apply. But it seems like they've taken some steps to really speed it up. Like you can't have like a full bench of 5 Pokemon anymore. Like it's a smaller bench, so you can only have like an active Pokemon, and I think you have 3 on your bench. I think it's fewer prizes, so the games just naturally go a little bit faster. So better if you're on the bus or on the train,
sure,
or just need a quick game in. But I really like what they're doing when it comes to not even monetization exactly, but just the way you get cards. It really feels like they are feeding both the people who want to play this game as a video game, as a card game,
Yeah.
and also the people who just want to like collect a bunch of cards. What they're doing, they're giving you 2 free booster packs a day.
Like every good
And you
drug dealer.
yes. But but like a bad drug dealer, they keep giving you them for free. Like
Oh
every
yeah.
day, two new booster packs. So like you don't have to put any money in this game at
No.
all, and you will still get lots of new cards every single day. And it's not, when I play like Magic Arena, it's like, okay, yes, you can get regular booster packs, but you need to pay for like the special premium boosters that have different versions. Not in here. Like any of these packs can have any of these cards in there, and there's also ways to get extra cards that like there's not specific trading with friends, but there is like I open this cool card in my pack and somehow you could also potentially get it in your pack because you are friends with me in the game.
Oh,
It just seems like they're doing a lot of smart things to allow better collecting and really casual playing of the card game.
that
And I
has
think
me
that's rad.
intrigued more than the other shit for sure.
Yeah. I'm excited as a person who hasn't played a lot of
Yeah.
Pokemon trading card game recently because I don't really care about EX Pokemon or GX Pokemon or whatever the fuck they did. The
Gold
rules
jacket,
stuff has
green
all like
jacket.
everything has gotten so big and power crept from the time that I played back in the jungle and fossil days. I'm just kind of out of it. But the idea of, hey, here's like a really easy entry point and you don't really have to pay any money and you can kind of just play this and have a good time. And if you really just want to open packs and see the cool Pokemon card art,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
sure, I'll give it a shot. We'll see. If I hate it, fine. But I feel like they've done everything they could in this game to make it super accessible,
Yeah.
and that has me kind of excited.
Yeah. Same.
On the 31st, Halloween, we're getting Dragon Age: The Veilguard coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. Um, you definitely are more interested in this game than I am. I have just kind of written off BioWare entirely at this point. So
I
what has you intrigued about Dragon
I mean,
Age?
this is getting some really good impressions from folks that spent time with it. It feels like they got the heart and soul of BioWare's kind of back, like a return
Okay.
to form here. But they're saying that the changes from like a Mass Effect to a Mass Effect 2 from like a play style are kind of what's happening here. It's a much faster game than other ones, and I think that's going to be what really gets people either on board or turned away from it. But I did not like Inquisition, and I liked all
No,
the yeah.
I barely played any Inquisition. I had a real bad time with it.
Yeah, same. I liked all the other ones, but I did not like that. So I want to like Dragon Age again because I really liked those first few games, and I I love BioWare. I want them to be good. This to me, like if this comes out terrible, like I have pretty much lost what little hope I have for the Mass Effect game they're working on.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'll tell you my biggest obstacle, and it's right here. I've got this
that's
sealed box of
dude,
Baldur's Gate 3 that
move
I
it
should
over
really
center
play
frame
at some point.
so people can see it.
What?
Move it over center frame. There you go. I need to get my stuff from you to put up in here.
I think I gave it to you, but also like the digital goodies and stuff.
No, I never got the physical stuff from you.
Well, it's probably still in this sealed box. So
Yeah, I never got it.
yeah, okay. I think I did try to give you the digital stuff, but I think it's somehow locked to my email or whatever.
I'm good with that.
Okay, so I guess I
But
get
yeah,
all that shit.
I
But
heard
yeah,
somebody else
whatever's
make
in
that.
that box, you can have, except for the discs.
This stands in the shadow of Baldur's Gate. I mean, that's
Yeah.
100% true.
I mean, there's so many people out there who have already played Baldur's Gate and are just looking for another game kind of like that, and this is probably the closest thing you're going to get. But
Yeah.
specifically for me, knowing that I've been bitten by BioWare semi recently, and having a game that is universally loved in Baldur's Gate 3 right here, Dragon Age: The Veilguard holds no interest to me. But
Yeah.
totally
I'll
understand
report
it for you.
back. I will be getting it for sure.
And then lastly, also on Halloween, Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, the game that looked so garbage that they had to remaster it, is coming to PC and PS5.
They also re-recorded all the audio.
Why?
I don't know. Like, I don't know why they're remastering this game.
Like Guerrilla Games made a completely gorgeous, perfectly fine sounding video game.
Up until Forbidden West came to PC, I literally would use Zero Dawn on PC to kind of like tune and set my shit up. Am I excited about this? No, because I don't like where Sony's going with it, even though this is one of my favorite games of all time. It looks fantastic. Of course, I'll pay the $10 to get the updated version of it, but Sony needs to fucking pull their head out of their ass and stop being PS3 era Sony again. Like, that's what I got to say about it.
I mean, are you going to play the Lego version of this?
Only if Sarah or my nephew wants to. And I don't think either one of those is going to happen. So I will probably skip on that because that's not my flavor of Horizon that I want.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Kind of like you, I enjoyed this game quite a bit.
Yeah.
Certainly not to the degree that you did, but I had a very good time with this game, and I don't know why we're getting a remaster of it. This is like right up there with Last of Us Part 1.
Same.
Of for what purpose? Who asked for this? Why? Who is getting served something better than what they already had in the first Horizon Zero Dawn? Like, what? Okay, all right.
Yep.
That's the culture we live in these days. Apparently, it bums me out. Make new video games.
All
right, Bobby. Let's make some picks. Why don't you start?
Yeah, man. So far for this month, I picked Dragon Age: The Veilguard, as I mentioned, Neva, Metaphor, Diablo IV, and Kill Knight.
Sounds good.
I already have Diablo. I already have Kill Knight, and I just need. So I'm picking up 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also have 3. I've got Neva as well. I've got Metaphor, which we found out during this episode. That I was like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. And then yeah, I'm gonna try that Pokemon. I'm gonna try that Pokemon trading card game. I've been itching to do it. I think that is probably going to be the next game I play for Chasey K Plays once I finish Advance Wars.
That'd be fun.
I think I'm just gonna go back to the Game Boy Color Pokemon trading card game. In one flavor or another. They made a couple of those, and there's a ROM hack version that I might play as well. So I need to figure out which version. But yeah, I'm gonna go back and play some cards. And I think it would be really cool to play that in tandem with this and do a little compare and contrast. So we'll see about it.
Hell yeah.
Maybe Sonic. I don't know. Maybe I'll just play some more fucking Sonic and be really into it again. Who knows?
Chase,
live and learn.
It is great to be back live with you. I appreciate all your effort that you always put into these previews. I know that it's a lot of work, but it's really well done. We've got a lot of fun stuff. I'm going to take the next few days and kind of tweak a few stream things and work on that. Been working on the space here, but we are back, baby, and we'll be updating some of our schedule stuff here with you very, very soon. But if you want to follow along with what we do, you can do so by going to the links that aren't working stream and this is casualhour.com if you want to follow along with all of our shenanigans there. Chase, what do you got going on?
Yeah, I mentioned before I still am playing Advance Wars 2 in a series I call Black Hole Sun. It is out on my YouTube channel. Go search for Chasey K Plays. You'll find it there. We're close. We're really close. I finished Green Earth. That was the 4th of the 4 nations. So there's just kind of the big bads left to do. And I think there's only like 2 or 3 more missions of that. So hopefully soon I will be moving on to my next game. And then my other podcast that I do with our good friend of the show, Piers Corshane, it's called Pilot Program. He and I watch the first episodes of every TV show ever made. Since we took our break, I think 2 episodes have come out on Pilot Program. One of those was on Mad Men. One of Pierce and my favorite shows. That was our 25th episode, so that was a fun milestone. And then our latest one came out today, and that is on Fawlty Towers, the 1975 British show starring John Cleese. Which was a heck of a lot of fun. So go check those out. Shows.acast.com/pilot program. And yeah, join us for that.
Awesome. Chase, it's great to be back with you. We'll be back on Friday night with some